Welcome! This is Course 8, Unit 2, Exercise 1. Now let's start practicing. In this exercise, we will be practicing the present perfect progressive. It is used to indicate the duration of an activity that began in the past and continues to the present. The present perfect progressive uses time words like for, since, all morning, all day, or all week. It expresses a general activity in progress recently or lately, and it is formed using the verb have, has as auxiliary, the past participle form of the verb be, which is been, and the ing form of the main verb. For example, with affirmative sentences, we say, I have been recording a song. Or, I've been recording a song. I have can be contracted to the form I've. A negative sentence would be, she hasn't been writing a story. An interrogative, have they been flying a plane? Have they been flying a plane? Excellent. Now let's start practicing. First, listen. What have you been doing? I've been recording a song. Have you ever recorded one? Yes, I have. When did you record one? I recorded one just last week. Now listen and repeat. What have you been doing? I've been recording a song. Have you ever recorded one? Yes, I have. When did you record one? I recorded one just last week. What have you been doing? I've been writing a story. Have you ever written one? Yes, I have. When did you write one? I wrote one just last week. What have you been doing? I've been painting a picture. Have you ever painted one? Yes, I have. When did you paint one? I painted one just last week. What have you been doing? I've been building a model. Have you ever built one? Yes, I have. When did you build one? I built one just last week. Now teacher questions, student answers. What have you been doing? Have you ever written one? When did you write one? What have you been doing? Have you ever painted one? When did you paint one? What have you been doing? Have you ever built one? When did you build one? What have you been doing? Have you ever eaten one? When did you eat one? What have you been doing? Have you ever sewed one? When did you sew one? What have you been doing? Have you ever driven one? When did you drive one? Now students' questions, teacher answers. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I've been writing a story. Yes, I have. I wrote one just last week. I've been painting a picture. Yes, I have. I painted one just last week. I've been building a model. Yes, I have. I built one just last week. I've been eating octopus. Yes, I have. I ate one just last week. I've been sewing a dress. Yes, I have. I sewed one just last week. I've been driving a race car. Yes, I have. I drove one just last week. In this next exercise, we will also be practicing the present perfect tense. Remember, the present perfect is used to indicate unfinished actions that started in the past and are still continuing. They can also indicate life experiences that happened at an indefinite time, or past actions that are important now because they are news or because their results matter in the present. We use the form have has plus verb in its past participle form. For example, he has written a letter to his friend, or he's written a letter to his friend. He hasn't finished his homework yet. Has she ever flown a helicopter? Excellent. Now let's start practicing. First, listen. What has Gabby been doing? She's been cleaning the garage. Has she ever cleaned it? Yes, she has. When did she clean it? She cleaned it just last week. Now listen and repeat. What has Gabby been doing? She's been cleaning the garage. Has she ever cleaned it? Yes, she has. When did she clean it? She cleaned it just last week. What has Gabby been doing? She's been flying the plane. Has she ever flown it? Yes, she has. When did she fly it? She flew it just last week. What has Gabby been doing? She's been reading the poem. Has she ever read it? Yes, she has. When did she read it? She read it just last week. What has Gabby been doing? She's been making the map. Has she ever made it? Yes, she has. When did she make it? She made it just last week. Now teacher first person, student second person. What has Gabby been doing? Has she ever flown it? When did she fly it? What has Gabby been doing? Has she ever read it? When did she read it? What has Gabby been doing? Has she ever made it? When did she make it? Students first person, teacher second person. Ready? 3, 2, 1. She's been flying the plane. Yes, she has. She flew it just last week. She's been reading the poem. Yes, she has. She read it just last week. She's been making the map. Yes, she has. She made it just last week. Excellent work! You can find these exercises on page 15 of your book. Keep practicing. Thank you for learning English with Inglés Plus. Please like this video and subscribe.